Here are some amazing facts about fiddler crab. Scientific name: the most common genus of fiddler crabs is Uca. Common name origin: they are called fiddler crabs because the male's large claw resembles a fiddle or violin. Size: fiddler crabs are typically small, measuring about 2 to 3 centimeters (0.8 to 1.2 inches) across the carapace. Sexual dimorphism: males have one large claw and one small claw, while females have two small claws. Large claw purpose: the large claw is used for communication and courtship displays, not for feeding. Feeding: fiddler crabs use their small claws to pick up food particles from the sand or mud. Diet: they primarily eat detritus, algae, and microorganisms. Habitat: fiddler crabs are found in mangroves, salt marshes, and sandy or muddy beaches. Burrows: they dig burrows in the sand or mud, which they use for protection and during high tides. Tidal movement: fiddler crabs are often seen moving in and out of their burrows with the tide. Claw regeneration: if a male loses its large claw, the smaller one will grow to replace it, and a new small claw will grow in the place of the old large one. Communication: males wave their large claws to attract females and to signal to other males. Coloration: their carapace can vary in color, often depending on the species and environment. Camouflage: some species can change color to blend in with their surroundings. Reproduction: mating typically occurs in the male's burrow. Larval stage: after mating, females release larvae into the water, where they develop before settling on the shore. Molding: like all crabs, fiddler crabs mold their exoskeleton to grow. Temperature regulation: they regulate their body temperature by moving between sun and shade. Osmoregulation: fiddler crabs can tolerate a range of salinities but need to maintain their internal balance of salts. Respiration: they have gills and can breathe underwater, but they also need to keep their gills moist to breathe on land. Species diversity: there are around 100 species of fiddler crabs. Distribution: they are found on coasts around the world, particularly in tropical and subtropical regions. Visual signals: the claw waving is a form of visual signaling used extensively in their social interactions. Vocalization: some species produce sounds by rubbing parts of their body together, stridulation. Territorial behavior: males are highly territorial and will defend their burrows from other males. Predators: birds, fish, and larger crabs are common predators of fiddler crabs. Anti-predator behavior: they will quickly retreat into their burrows if they sense danger. Social structure: fiddler crabs have a loose social structure centered around their burrows. Feeding technique: they sift through sediment using their small claws, extracting organic material. Claw asymmetry: the large claw is typically on the right side, but left-clawed individuals are not uncommon. Burrow structure: burrows can be quite complex, often with multiple chambers and entrances. Activity patterns: they are primarily diurnal, being most active during low tide. Lifespan: fiddler crabs can live for several years, depending on the species and environmental conditions. Evolution: fiddler crabs are an example of rapid evolutionary adaptation, particularly in their claw morphology. Navigation: they use visual landmarks and the position of the sun to navigate back to their burrows. Climate impact: rising sea levels and habitat destruction pose significant threats to their populations. Symbiosis: some species of fiddler crabs live in symbiosis with other marine animals like gobies. Burrow sharing: occasionally, males may allow females to share their burrows. Salinity tolerance: they can survive in both brackish and marine environments. Microhabitats: within their habitats, they can be found in different microhabitats, like mud flats or grassy areas. Body structure: They have a cephalothorax covered by a hard carapace, and their bodies are segmented. Exoskeleton. Their exoskeleton provides protection and support but must be molded for the crab to grow. Sensory organs. They have compound eyes on stalks, providing a wide field of vision. Taste and smell. Chemoreceptors on their antennae help them detect food and mates. Locomotion. Fiddler crabs typically walk sideways but can move quickly when necessary. Claw strength. Despite its size, the large claw is not particularly strong and is used more for display than combat. Female's role. Females select mates based on the size and vigor of the male's claw waving. Parental care. After mating, females care for the fertilized eggs until they are ready to hatch. Egg development. The eggs are carried on the female's abdomen until they hatch into free-swimming larvae. Juvenile stage. Young crabs molt several times before reaching adulthood. Adaptations. They have evolved various adaptations to avoid desiccation, including behavioral changes. Temperature effects. Temperature influences their metabolic rate and activity levels. Claw utilization. The large claw can also be used to block the entrance of their burrow for protection. Interspecies interaction. Different species of fiddler crabs may interact and compete for resources in overlapping habitats. Human impact. Coastal development and pollution are major threats to their habitats. Ecological role. Fiddler crabs play a crucial role in aerating the soil and recycling nutrients in their ecosystems.